So, Raila Odinga will be making his fifth attempt at the presidency. Let's now take a look at his credentials. He was born on the 7th of January 1945, as you can see, in Maseno in Kisumu. He got a master's in science in mechanical engineering in 1970, graduating from the technical institution that was known then as Magdeburg. And in 1971, he returned home to found the East African Spectre, a company that a company that manufactures liquid petroleum gas cylinders. Now, his foray into public service began in 1974 when he was appointed a standards manager for the Kenya Bureau of Standards. He was promoted in 1978 to the Deputy Director KEBS, and he held this position up until 1982 when he was detained for 6 years without trial on charges of treason. Now, he was later rearrested and incarcerated for 2 spells between 1988 and 1991 for agitating for multi-party democracy. Now, in 1992, he joined the Forum for the Restoration of Democracy after briefly seeking asylum in, I believe the country was Norway, later becoming the Deputy Director of Elections for Ford Kenya, which was led by his father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Now, the same year, he ousted Philip Liki of KANU to be elected Member of Parliament for Langata, and on his father's death in 1994, he joined NDP. This is after a fight between himself and the late Kijana Wamalwa for the leadership of Ford Kenya. Now, he first contested the presidency in 1997, coming in third after the late President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi and now the late President Mwai Kibaki. He then merged NDP with KANU and served as Energy Minister between 2001 and 2002 when he was also elected KANU Secretary General. Now, he did not last long in KANU when the late President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi tapped Uhuru Kenyatta as his preferred successor. Himself and other KANU bigwigs being Kalonzo Musyoka, the late George Saitoti and Joseph Kamodho left KANU. And he moved on to form the LDP. Now, this leads up to his, I believe, next run for presidency. Now, in 2002, he actually backed Mwai Kibaki for the presidency after forming the Rainbow Coalition. The Rainbow Coalition being an amalgamation of different opposition parties set on ousting KANU and Daniel Toroitich from office after more than 2 decades in power. And as you can see, in 2003, the Rainbow Coalition trounced KANU, and in 2005 they parted ways after disagreement, most prominently then on constitutional reform, and he formed the Orange Democratic Movement. That is where he met up with William Ruto from KANU, and in 2007 went on to contest the presidency for the second time. Him winning the ODM nomination for president and winning over William Ruto in that instance. And in 2008, of course, you note after 2007, there was the worst post-election violence witnessed in the country. Kofi Annan came in, mediated a government of national unity, I beg your pardon. And in 2008, he became the second prime minister in Kenya's history, after his father, who was prime minister between 1963 and 1964. Now, we move on as far as Raila Odinga's political history is concerned. Now, that ended the Rainbow years, and in 2013 he contested the presidency for a third time, this time under CORD, the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy. At that time he joined with I believe Wiper party leader Kalonzo Musyoka and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula. He contested the results in the Supreme Court. They were upheld, and therefore his next stab at the presidency was made in 2017. And that was his 4th attempt. And you will recall that the presidential elections were first annulled. Fresh presidential elections called for, but he refused to participate. And that leads us up to the 2018 handshake between himself and President Uhuru Kenyatta, and then to his 5th run for president in 2022, this August, with the support of Uhuru Kenyatta. And there you have it, Raila Odinga's CV in a nutshell.